So let's talk about the ATR indicator, which stands for average true range. The first thing I'm going to do is show you how to plot it on your chart. I'm using tradingview.com. This is one of the only trading platforms I've ever used, so I'm really not sure how to do this in any other platform, but it should be as easy as just searching through your indicators, and any trading platform should have this indicator. If it does not, you need to pick a better platform. So if you go to your indicators and strategies here on TradingView and type in ATR, it'll be under built-ins and it'll be the average true range indicator. Put that on the chart. Now that this is here, let's talk about what it actually does. Now for me, first I'm going to talk to you about how I customize it. The ATR is normally down here. That's where it starts. I like mine to be at the top of the screen. So I do that and then I shrink it up a good amount because I don't want it to be cluttering up my chart. And all I'm really paying attention to is this number right here. So let's first go over how we actually read this indicator. Right here, you see 0.00894. This gets confusing for a lot of traders, but it shouldn't be because we read this exactly like we read pips. So if you'll remember from earlier in the course, the 1 pip section is where? It's the 4th decimal point for a currency pair. 1, 2, 3, 4. This number on the ATR indicator is going to be discounted. We're only looking 4 decimal places to find our single pip. So if that's the case, what would this be on the Euro Canada? This would be 89 pips because we're just looking at the decimal place and then we're counting over 4 to find our one single pip, which in this case is 9. 8 is in the tens, 0 is in the hundreds, and 0 is in the thousands, and 0 is in the 10,000s. So that is an 89 pip ATR, or average true range. Now, remember from the beginning that that's just for non-JPY pairs. For JPY pairs, they have the single pip being the 2nd decimal place. We have the decimal, then we count 1 and 2. So in this case, what would this be? 782? No, it would be a 78 pip stop loss. And the reason is we have 0.782. We have our hundreds, we have our tens, and we have our ones right here. This is a tick. So they put this here for futures traders or for Forex traders that want to go super precise with stop losses. But for the purpose of this course, we're not going to be counting that last number. So to make this really easy, just always discount the last number on the ATR, and that will give you the actual ATR. So instead of 782, this is actually 78 pips. Firstly, what does the ATR do? The average true range, I'm not going to go through the full calculation because that's not really important for you to understand how it works. The simplistic version of how it works is it counts back 14 candles. And it gives you, I'm not going to count all 14, you guys know what 14 is. And it gives you the average movement from high to low of that candle over the past 14 candles, right? So essentially, it is giving you the average movement of the last 14 candles. That's what the ATR does. You may be asking yourself, why? Why would we need to know the average movement of the last 14 candles? Well, this keeps us in line with the volatility of the current asset and time frame that we are trading and the current market conditions. We've all seen times when markets don't move a lot versus times when markets are moving an insane amount. The reason we want to be in line with these times where the market's moving a lot, with the different markets we're trading, like the Euro Canada versus the Euro Pound. The reason we want to be in line with this is because we want to align our stops and targets with the current volatility of the market. Now you can use fixed stops and targets. What I mean by that is you may say, I'm going to go long here. There's a double bottom and we're in somewhat of an uptrend or whatever right here. And this is just an example, guys. You may say, cool, I'm going to enter right here and I'm going to use a 20 pip stop loss below the low. Sure, you may have done that when you were a beginner, but this is going to get hit a lot more often than if you align yourself with the volatility of the market. What do I mean by that? Well, having a 20 pip stop loss below this low may work good on the Euro Pound on the 1 hour or 4 hour chart. But on the Euro New Zealand, or excuse me, the Euro Canada, which we're on right now, and we're on a daily chart, the average movement of the last 14 candles is 89 pips. I want you to look right up here for that, 89 pips. This last number is a tick, and we don't use that in Forex, so don't worry about it. We're looking at these two. 89, discount the last number on the ATR indicator. So if the ATR, or the average range of one candle, is 89 pips, then do you think it's safe to put a 20 pip stop loss below this low? For me, at least in my opinion, in the way I trade, the answer is no. That is why I use the ATR indicator to tell me what the volatility of the market is, the current pair that I'm trading, along with the current time frame I'm trading, along with just the market conditions in general. The ATR tells us all of that by just giving us a number in the top right hand corner of our screen that we can use to align ourselves with the current market conditions, the time frame, and the market that we are trading. So there are a few different ways we use this. That was why we want to use the ATR indicator. Essentially, it is to align ourselves with the volatility of the current market we're trading, current market conditions, and the time frame we're trading on. Now, the way we're going to do this is, let's take that same scenario of entering a trade right here just because of the fact of, don't even worry about the reason, right? We're just using this for stops and targets. That's the only thing we're going to be using the ATR for. One of the ways we will use the ATR is we will have an entry, let's say here, and we will take one ATR of the current candle, which is 89 pips, and we will do something called add 10, which I'm guessing you already know what that means. So with that being the case, we would have 89 plus 10, which would be what? 99 pips for our stop loss. I got 99 pips, but just kidding. So this would be 99 pips of stop. And the reason is because we're taking that ATR indicator and we're adding 10 pips to it. That's one of the ways we'll be using the ATR to place stops. We also may say we want to use one ATR below the swing low. This would be the swing low. We would then go 89 pips below that, which would be 119 pips. So right here, we have around 30 pips down to that swing low, plus 90 pips roughly. Somewhere around 120 pips would be our stop loss if that was the case. That's another way we're going to be using the ATR indicator for stops. We may go under the entry candle by one ATR. Hopefully you're getting the point here. We have a few different ways we're going to be using the ATR in order to place stop losses, but all the stop losses that we use are going to be based on the ATR indicator. Just as an example, if we were going 90 pips below, or 89 pips, I'm going to do easy math, with 90 pips below the entry candle, then that would be 107 pips, right? 90 plus 17. So that would be 107 pip stop loss. And you may be asking, what determines the different ways that we use the ATR for stop loss? That depends on the strategy that we're trading. And you'll learn about that as we go through the strategies and the strategy mastery course. I'll tell you how we're going to be using the ATR to place stops. Right now, just as an overview of the indicator, it's important that you realize we're using it for stop loss placement in a few different ways, most of which I just went over with you. So there's an overview of the ATR indicator, or average true range indicator. That is what it is, why we want to use it, and how we're going to be using it throughout the later sections in the course. As a brief overview now, this is an indicator that tells you the average movement of the last 14 candles. The reason we want to use this is to align ourselves with the current market we're trading, current market conditions, and the time frame that we are on. And the way we're going to use it is by using the current volatility of the market in order to place an appropriate stop loss on our trades with the strategies we're going to learn later in the course. Now let's move on to the indicator we're going to use second most often, which is a moving average. I'll see you guys in the next video.